Hello, welcome to a special edition of Near Running Casts, where we have footage from our Jank tourney that we played in, I'm going to say May. No, it was not September, it wasn't that long ago.
September on the
oh, yes,
video,
it says there, yeah, you're right. Oh, thank God. Okay,
You're
yes.
so efficient,
September,
Johnny.
sorry, I forgot. Yeah, it was September. And it was a really fun day with a lot of unusual IDs and deck builds, and yeah.
For all
and
those
decks.
people saying that Jank doesn't pull in attendees, this was our second largest tournament after the BABW. Like, we had over 30.
Yeah, it was good. It was a really good day,
So
actually.
people love Jank.
So this game we're going to see on the left we have Jack, who goes by Elvortal Online.
Yeah, Bristol player.
He's from Bristol, is he? Yeah. Okay. Playing Nasir. Obviously, we're well familiar with Nasir in these videos.
Yeah, I mean, it's a common ID for high quality tournament.
On the right hand side we've got Ollie, who we have seen before, CC, playing his next. Now you can see he's already taken his cheating first turn, 0th turn of putting ice on HQ.
And he's got what he needed, right? He got three
sweeps,
pieces of ice.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
Perfect.
So his first turn, his actual first turn, was to install ice a remote and then play sweeps, which is quite good.
That's kind of interesting because Next doesn't have a lot of influence, right? It's 12, is it?
Yeah, I think you're right off the top of my head. Yeah.
Sweep Tweak already looking at 2 influence there.
But I guess it's good economy.
It's a great card for sure.
And we see Next, so we've immediately got a very good idea of what kind of ice sweep we're going to see here.
Well,
I mean, it's possible he's only got one Next piece of ice.
Is Ollie playing? I mean, the question here is this janky enough? I mean,
Next is good. He's playing Next designed as an ID, so
that's thematic, I suppose.
It is, yeah. And we're going to see
the depths of terror I hold as I see the bottom of Jack's deck. There's some interesting cards looking like in there.
So he hit the Next with 2 credits and spent it on... and was able to steal Vitruvius. He spent it on self-mod to install a Parisia.
Yeah.
So now, obviously...
This card would be good if it also had the word upgrades on it, rather than just trashing assets.
That's true, yeah. So Parisia gives you recurring credits for trashing assets, as you say.
Unfortunately, it does nothing against a lot of the key cards in the kind of general meta games, such as Sansan, City Grid, and Caprice and stuff like that.
So I guess we should very quickly, just in case our viewers are not totally up to speed with the rules, explain a little bit about how Nasir works.
I thought you were going to explain the rules for the Jank tournament, Johnny, where you got assigned IDs and then you had to make a janky deck with them.
Yeah, that was it. Let's talk about Nasir. So Nasir, the text on Nasir reads, I don't know, to hand, but the text on Nasir basically reads that you lose all your credits when you encounter a piece of ice that was just rezzed, and you gain credits equal to the cost. Now there is a window between it getting rezzed and you encountering it in which you can spend it. So a wise player. So Jack installed self-mod before he ran because he could spend all his money, he could bankrupt himself, use it, and still get some money out of it.
We're missing out here on Jack putting down a beach party and then game daying.
So we've got beach party game day and he's got Faust on the table. So, I mean, that's good. It's not common in Nasir, but those are good cards.
That's a combo. It's a combo I like on a Jank tournament day for sure.
That's right, it is a janky combo, and you can pressure this remote fairly effectively with a 10-card hand with Faust. I mean,
as long as you're not too precious about what you chuck away. And I assume there's probably a levy in this deck somewhere.
He's got a good selection, so he puts down Personal Workshop. This is a
card for Nasir.
Great card for Nasir because you can just plough your money into it before you encounter a piece of ice. And he runs to 0. That's another thing you can do as Nasir. And with Faust as well. So Faust in a big hand means you can run without fear into ice. And if you run with no money, if they run something big, then you get loads of stuff.
You can trash it with Parisia, yes!
He did. So he's Parisia to trash the melange. Amazing card.
As you can hear, viewers, I think that we're excited for some Jank after a lot of competitive tournament play.
Yeah, it's certainly nice for a bit of variety. Yeah. And that was what it felt like on the day. It did.
Well. It was a soothing balm.
Yeah, it was. We recently had another one as well, which was quite successful.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, so he's put an R&D interface on the Personal Workshop. So again, as he just ambles into ice, he can put money into it, and eventually he'll have put enough in to be able to install that R&D interface. So it's a good source of pressure.
Jack tracking clicks on his phone?
He is, yeah. He had this app. I played against him on the day, actually. Yeah, had this app for tracking. He tracked both times. He tracked both sides of me. So Diesel, he obviously needs more cards. So, yeah. Yeah, Diesel again, okay. Alright. Might as well.
Hey, it's like a stim hack when you've got Faust out.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Okay, so we don't know what's in that remote. I don't think. Well, I haven't been paying that much attention.
We've been joyfully discussing this here.
I don't think we know what's in that remote. So he could pressure it, although he looks like he's got a kind of combo wombo he's trying to set up. So we'll see. I mean, I feel like what we're seeing from Next so far is basically Next's game plan. Is one remote, loads of ice.
Yeah, no jank here so far for the Next, but we'll see what happens.
Well, no, it's not hardcore jank, but I guess it's out of the janky ID, which is.
Well, Joey thinks the ID is quite good. I don't know if he's changed his opinion in the last couple of weeks.
Maybe quite good. I don't know if it's any better than that. But it's.
Right, so it's an ABT.
So it was an ABT. Is he going to fire it?
Come on.
No.
Ollie.
Oh, what is this?
Come on.
So he doesn't fire the ABT.
Spirit of the day, Ollie.
Should be against the rules.
In a jank tournament, for sure.
Yeah. But.
I fired a lot of mine on that day, actually.
Talking more competitively, I think that's the right call. He's got some ice down. He's got a decent amount of money. I mean, Architect. Yeah, so Architect's good. You can break it with Faust, obviously. So
it's not cheap for Faust. 3 cards.
So before encountering, Jack spends all of Nasir's money to install R&D interface.
Yep.
Like it.
Pretty
and then gets
play.
4 credits back from the res. Strong. This is strong.
And he's not going to spend any of that.
No, and he's going to use Faust to break,
Which is awesome.
And if he then continues, he can spend the money on the self-mod as well. So, right.
Yeah, or steal an NAPD or something like that, which is often a problem for Nasir.
But if this next piece of ice gets rezzed, he's going to lose that money.
But he'll gain some, Johnny.
He will. Oh, of course. Of course.
It's a two-way street.
So he breaks the Architect.
Fun fact, I scored a 3-pointer on the day behind a pop-up window.
Wow.
Against our notable local... Yeah, against Brendan. He was not happy.
Pop-up's good against Nasir.
It is good against Nasir.
It's 0 to res, which means no matter how much money they have, they lose it all on encounter.
Exactly.
The first time, anyway.
And it's an end-the-run piece of ice.
Yeah. Okay, so no res on the inside ice. Presumably not a piece of next ice then, you might have seen it resed.
It might be a large-ish Bioroid or something.
Yeah, it could be some like Heimdall or something, or an Itchy or something.
Maybe. Ollie's the sort of player that'll play Tollbooth.
Yeah, even HP. No, low influence HP.
Yeah.
Maybe. Definitely. I see a peak efficiency in his deck. Now that's a good card.
Yeah, that is
doesn't
a good
get
card.
played enough. I like that a lot. I had that in my ice.
I think I'd put one in an HP deck, because towards the end of the game, when you just need money to say secure an Ash, like a credit differential for Ash, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Seeing it early isn't great, but you can always spend it and then shuffle it back through later with Jackson.
I think it's good in Next because of the kind of predisposition towards having a lot of ice down.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
And Jack's put an E3 on this personal workshop, which I like quite a lot. Plays very nice with Faust.
So good.
It's strong.
I'm hesitant to call Jack a genius, but it's certainly getting that way.
These are some great cards that have fantastic. No right to be played together in this way, but I like it. Okay. So let's see. So we've got another install on this remote. Now, as Jack, do you think you should pressure it? You should run it and check. You can check fairly cheaply.
Assuming he's got like a levy and stuff.
I mean,
then yeah.
You've got 3 credits, which is enough to install stuff. So you can run into this piece of ice. Oh, he's going to SMC during the corpse turn?
Come on, Parasite. Come on.
Parasite. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He sold the SMC to Aesops. I'm sorry. Because, it's 0 to install and it gets you 3 credits, so it's good economy.
But it's economy he'll lose, John, if he rests another piece of
Maybe
ice.
He's about to put another R&D interface on that thing. Who knows what's going on? Okay, let's see.
I think Aesops is quite good in Nasir because... talking, more competitively, it gets you off the ground as soon as you've been left with 0 credits by a piece of ice res the next turn.
So he does, in fact, put an R&D interface on the personal workshop.
It just gets better and better for Elvortel.
That is good. So let's see. So he's going to run the remote, which I think I agree with. Turing, okay. Oof. So he did run a click 2, which means that's going to stop Faust dead. Unless if he had that SMC, maybe... I don't know, he may have no other breaker.
If he had an SMC, he could have done something.
He may have no other breaker, though. I mean,
he might not in the Jank tournament.
Yeah. So he's going to install everything anyway, and then get 4 credits and then end the run. Because you can't break it with Faust. It says on it you can't use an AI program.
So is that a pipeline in his hand?
I guess you can sell it.
For
Two
net
Aesops?
0.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's maybe he ran out of green cards. There aren't that many.
There's a net ready eyes in there.
Never Ice is decent with Faust as well.
It could have been a pipeline. It could have been a creeper. I'm not sure.
He does have pipeline in this deck, so it's quite possible. Yeah.
Even in a Jank tournament, I don't think I could play that card.
Okay, so he scored. So Ollie scored out of Vitruvius. So that Turing did well.
Yeah. Strong piece of ice.
But not anymore because now that Jack knows what it is, he can just run on click 1.
That's the whole turn, though. I mean,
it
you
is.
can now go,
if he's got confidence as an agenda, then yeah.
You can
but I agree.
go back to the classic HB plan now of just installing stuff in the remote and trying to pressure them to run it.
He might have parasites or something. In fact, he does have a parasite. You see in his hand.
Well,
so
that should go straight on that Turing.
On Turing, yeah. Although it'd take a while. Pipeline, yeah.
He's got a sucker though.
Pipeline on the personal workshop. I like it.
So you can run your economy by installing things off the personal workshop with
just sell them.
Nasir credits and then sell them. Yeah. best use for pipeline, really.
It's like, yeah. So, okay, just his ice. But he's checking HQ.
He's getting some sucker tokens, which is important to get rid of this Turing.
I think he might be worried about the possibility of another agenda coming out. There might be a bit of a train.
I'm loving this from Jack. Nice, decisive, hand motion on where he's running. Yeah.
So for a card in the credit, he can break the Architect and no access. He still does an ABT. Okay, so it's 4-4 now.
Card in the credit.
NAPD. No, sad NAPD face. He's only got 3 credits. Nasir. Okay. This is where Ollie's. I'm glad I didn't res that 4 credit piece of ice.
Card in the credit is it's 2 cards in the credit with Faust, isn't it? Because
you're right. I'm sorry, you're right.
I might have had a data sucker token though. So
yeah, he might have spent and gained. Yeah, I think he did. You're right. Okay, so reasonable though. I need 3. It's good with Faust against multi sub ice. Yeah, I like it. I wonder what this inside ice is. I mean, Ollie only has 3 credits, so
it's probably like a toll with.
Yeah. Maybe it is. I find it hard to believe there's a top booth in his deck, but you could be right.
He's been trashing over it, so we'll never know, Jono, unless Jack runs on.
I'm sad we'll never know. I'm fine. Okay.
Somehow I'll learn to code.
Yeah, we'll live. Okay, so he installed something else. So the thing is, Nasir kind of eats like unrest ice for breakfast. I mean, you just spend the money on this pipeline, I guess, and then.
Do you put the parasite on the personal workshop for the moment?
Then you for instant speed. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, the bad side of that is that
if you
might eventually have to install it.
You might have to do the worst case scenario and install it properly.
Okay, so he was thinking about selling a Parisia. I don't know. I mean, it's been a real workhorse in this game. But...
like every game you see it. I think he's got 1 use out of it. He trashed a Melange earlier, so he's got 1 credit out of it.
He sold it for free.
Did he?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, he cost him an SMC, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a zoo in his hand? No, is that a zoo or is it a woman in the red dress?
He does have a zoo, which will do great work against his Turing. So he might consider.
That's a good use of.
So I think zoo on the personal workshop and in the future maybe, and then run on that remote because Ollie will think he's got a pretty strong window in that remote. Okay, so he's having a good think about this.
Well, when you've got so many cards in hand.
So it's Parasite on.
I mean, he's probably playing Clone Chip, right?
Just because it's next, maybe. Yeah. I mean, and weakening other next dice. So I can't go. Oh, it's next gold. I think that was the next gold.
You know what, John? I'd completely forgotten about that piece of ice.
That's just a good next piece of ice, but for a kill, but not for preventing random accesses. It's too expensive. Okay, so that's no good.
Labour, some real jank coming up.
Yeah, no, that's not particularly janky, Ollie. Come on, you can do better.
I can't comment that much. My deck wasn't much more exciting than this for that side of the court.
So now Ollie draws the NPD. He did leave. Might be worth comment. He did leave the NPD on top of R&D. But the thing is, if this piece of ice costs less than 4 to res on R&D, then Jack can't run it with 4 credits, which is hilarious. That's a great way to defend an NPD. Let's get an ice on HQ, so let's see how Jack's going to respond. He's drawing. He's doing plain drawing, which is quite sad.
He's run out of game days, maybe. Is that a genetics thing? I'm not sure. Gene conditioning shop, is that in his hand?
Might do. He's got beach party, which means he probably has pancakes, so he might have.
But does he have any more genetics? You need
wild
2
side,
right
maybe?
to make it
worth.
Well, maybe wild side,
Wild side and beach party, yeah.
I don't want to think about what Jack,
I don't know. I'm
Jack,
guessing.
the insides of Jack's brain.
I'm guessing.
He's created a monster.
It's worth mentioning he also forgot Personal Workshop, so that pipeline should be one turn closer to being on the table. But
I wish you could sell it with Aesops right now. I don't think that card should ever see the tabletop.
oh, it's Chronos Project. Chronos Project is still going in the bin. That might be useful because I imagine you already mentioned. You think there's levies, which I think is reasonable. Might be clone ships. It's a big heat.
Did it go in the remote?
It's in the remote,
right,
yeah.
Okay.
Saw it go in.
Come on, Jack, you got to run that now.
So, but you feel like he will run it. I mean, he's got the zoo, and Ollie will think that Jack has no way in without spending a whole turn.
He sadly doesn't have enough money to use the zoo to break the Turing right now. He needs to click through it.
He's got. He could run on one and click.
Because the Turing's on the remote, right? It's incredibly expensive to break the zoo. It's
well, he can use
break.
Aesops. He could sell this Paristia, for instance.
He should sell this Paristia.
In theory, the pipeline would be entering the table now, so you could immediately sell it.
If
so he does sell
remembered,
Paristia.
Yeah.
In fact, he forgot. He forgot the pipeline again. No, this key cards
If you're
being
using
forgotten.
pipeline as your economy engine, do you know what I mean? you need to remember.
Yeah, that's pipeline, Aesops, and Personal Workshop is a strong economy right there.
Yeah.
So he does install Zoo.
Prepaid, eat your heart out.
Presumably he's going to run the remote. He does. He judo chops the remote on 3.
Such aggressive judo
So
chopping.
with Data Sucker,
what we like to see.
it's only 1 credit. That's pretty good. It's pretty reasonable.
1 credit.
Sorry, strength 5. I'm sorry, it's 3 credits. Yeah. Sorry, 3 to boost, 1 to break.
4 credits, right?
I apologise. You're right, 4 credits. But you can pay for it.
You can, and this is an important steal. Don't bottle this now, Jack. You've got to get through.
So he's having a lengthy think about this because he took a credit before the run, and he thinks that he doesn't need it, so he rolls it back to not take a credit, which seems a bit, I don't know, whatever. Seems a bit weak. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's no new information. He does steal.
Thank goodness.
He does steal the Chronos Project.
Jack probably sweating with fear after getting hold of that one.
Having broken the next bronze with Faust. So it's 4 to 5 in favour of the runner.
He's got the pancakes in hand.
Yeah, so he drew. Okay. Oh, he remembered the pipeline on Personal Workshop late in the turn.
That's
okay.
what we like to see.
Yeah, good. All right, so this remote maybe not as impregnable as Ollie would have hoped. You can see he's got a handful of ice. You could say just an architect. You could put that on the outside, I guess. I mean, it's just
surprised
taxing.
Ollie didn't biotic labour out that Chronos Project actually.
Yeah, could have. He's not super rich, but yeah, he could have. I mean, if he thought that was a genuine win condition, I get the sense he might just have been happy to see if Jack had the tricks at hand
Maybe,
to get in.
You're losing 1 point, but I mean, now Jack only needs 1 agenda.
I mean,
basically.
and if it had been, say, a Vitruvius or an ABT, he might just biotic it out. 2 points is very different.
I think bioticking out the Chronos Project there might have been quite good, because if he's been drawing through his deck pretty fast with game day, then
yeah, he might run out of cards eventually, and then he can't break anything.
Wow,
so we get a check on HQ, still a biotic there.
Jack reminded of that fact.
No way trashing it, of course. I'm too used to seeing Anarchs, and we've had so many videos in a row with Anarchs. It's hard to forget the red cards.
Yes, the BABW was crawling with Anarch.
So, okay, it's 5 to 4. Is it fair to say Jack has the upper hand here? Is the kind of stronger board presence?
I think he has the stronger board presence. I think he has the
got
moral high ground. In
oh
this
wow,
Jank's,
that's quite a stance.
tournament,
Okay, so he's going to run with no money straight into a next silver, which gives him 3 credits.
Which is fine. Right?
Yeah.
It's not what you really want to see as Nasir.
It's
actually it's not. He's got E3. It's fine.
It's 2 subs, but he can break it Faust for a card and a credit. He will only have 3 credits left. He's got to think about the architect as well, but he can use E3 to break both, and he hasn't got a lot of cards.
He's going to see 3 cards. Like, this is worth it, surely.
He's only got 4 cards, so he needs to. In fact, he doesn't. He has the roll.
Wow, right.
And he installs pancakes, which is reasonable. It means he can get back to full click turns.
What's the Ollie draw then?
So we're going to get some hedge fund from Ollie, who's making a bit of money. Just trying to shore up a little bit. Oh, next gold in hand. Never know, he might get a fluky kill shot. What do you reckon?
That'd be awesome.
I mean, the thing is,
I take everything back about what I said about Ollie's.
the thing is, Ollie has quite a lot. I mean, sorry, Jack has generally quite a lot of cards in hand. He's only got 3 now.
I don't
but
think it's particularly like next gold is not going to win.
he sold the pipeline. He didn't even use it. Oh. Okay, but he gets money for it, so I guess it paid off. Yeah. It's just a card that makes him money, I suppose. Could be anything Deus Ex.
I'd rather run Deus Ex because that's an actual similarly costed card that's playable.
Yeah.
But this was a Jank for me.
You never know. Maybe he wanted to use it for emergency. He maybe struggles with high strength sentries. You never know. You might expect some in a Jank tourney. You might expect some Janices and stuff like that. You've got to be prepared.
You can't break a Janus
you need a toolbox.
Pipeline,
You can.
You can break it.
Dream is real.
You can break it with a Deus Ex though.
Yeah, it's true. You can. Yeah.
I got the most recent Jank tournament. I had to encounter a Janus 4 times.
Wow.
And
did you
needless
survive?
to say, no.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
I'm sad.
Ian Sterling's old brain was not in a position to sustain such an assault.
Wow. You shouldn't run it that 4th time. Or
I didn't run it. I ran it once, Jono.
Oh, you got twins.
And I got twins Vitruvius counter, twins Vitruvius counter, twins Vitruvius counter.
I remember.
It was somewhat ugly.
Oh, that's Jank. Okay. Anyway, back to the task at hand. So Ollie's now installed in this remote and installed a piece of ice. So 2-point agenda, right? It's going to be an ABT or a Vitruvius or something.
Probably. I don't know. I haven't seen any Ash in Ollie's deck, but
I get the
it would
feeling
be pretty good here.
I get the feeling Jack's going to run it.
I hope so.
He'll probably
Let's find out.
put something on Personal Workshop, run with 3 credits, and see what happens. Let's find out.
Do you sell the same old thing here to Aesop?
Maybe you do. I mean, it's a net
credits?
3, yeah.
Have we seen any? We've seen Game Day. Is that not game? Yeah, Game Day. That's an
Day,
event.
yeah.
What
He's got
other?
Game Day.
We've seen Game Day and Diesel. I don't know if we've seen any other events from Jack.
Yeah, there's not been a lot. You never know, it might be like one-off stim hack or something. That'd be genius.
That'd be awesome.
It's not great for Nasir.
It's not good for Nasir.
It's not great, but it's good late when all the ice is rezzed.
Yes,
it's good late
it's
if you
fine,
need to
mate.
get in. Net celebrity. Wow.
You are a net celebrity, Jack.
Yeah, I like a couple of currents just in case there's some weird current stuff going on. I mean, it's a credit a run, which is good for Nasir.
That's another non-janky piece of ice.
It's tough. Okay, so let's see. So he just loses the money because he doesn't have anything to spend it on, but then gains 5. He doesn't lose the net celebrity. It's worth mentioning. So that is one of the reasons it's good. It can pay through pop-up.
Yeah, actually, it's good for Nasir, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're on 0, it can turn that 0 into 1, which is
I
important.
think the card I thought was a gene conditioning shop earlier was actually an Order of Soul.
Yeah, he does have Order of Soul, which is good for Nasir as well, of course.
Obviously,
triggers when he
I'm
hits
well
0.
versed in what these cards look like from my many tournament games.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so he's having a think. He's got 2 clicks left after drawing and installing Net Celebrity. This is 1. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Totally lost. He's already running. Yeah, the Itchy. So he's going to break the Itchy, but he's out of cards, so he's going to jack out. He could have done some E3 stuff.
It's Itchy AP.
Oh, it's only a melange. So Jack might have got away with one there. I mean, Ollie doesn't really need the money. He might have preferred it to be an agenda.
Is Itchy an AP piece of ice?
Yes, I believe so. Oh, wait. No, I think
might
AP's the
be.
one that's missing.
Yeah, it should be on there.
I think it should be, because it's got every other subtype.
It's Sentry Bioroid Tracer, isn't it?
Destroyer.
That
might be it.
And it needs to be AP because it does brain damage.
I think it's not enough room.
Yeah, I don't think it has enough room on the card.
I think you're right.
Which sadly means that you can't break it with a Deus Ex.
Yeah, I think AP, you're right. AP is the one subtype it doesn't have, I think. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to get a turn of drawing from Jack, who has no hand. He's not really interested in
what happened to the
pushing
same
that
old thing?
melange.
Did he sell it?
Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
Maybe you
Sold
should
it to
same old
Aesop
thing Game Day.
and Diesel.
So I wonder if
Yeah,
the same...
same old Game Day's pretty good, yeah.
I wonder if the same old thing's in there in case he has to spend the levy to get into the remote early.
What does Game Day cost?
I don't know. John.
I think it's like 1, it's not a lot.
It can't be.
It might be 0, yeah.
It must. I think it might be 0.
Yeah. So anyway, he could have paid for it.
Leave an answer in the comments, guys.
He could. Well, I can find out. He could have paid for it. Yeah. All right. Okay. So more drawing. He needs cards to break Faust. As we've seen, upgrade alongside Melange. Now that's not a twins, is it? That's going to be an Ash.
There's no way Ollie's playing a twins here. Come on.
Although, having said that,
I wish he was. But
twins with Turing or something would actually be hilarious. Okay, all right.
So we're seeing the power of Faust here because
Faust E3
all these
on
garbage
R&D.
cards that Voltaire doesn't need anymore, and now
he's kind of set up. So yeah. All right, so he managed to Faust E3 the whole way in, which I like a lot.
Levy.
It's fine. He doesn't need it. He's going to access 3 cards. He's going to win this turn. He's confident. He's thinking. He wants to make sure he's got 4 credits just in case, I think.
He's going to see 4 cards because that's another R&D interface, right?
Yeah, he didn't install it.
Oh.
So he wanted to make sure in case he's running NPD. And his NPD. All right, he got
Jack.
it for the game.
We love you, Jack.
Yes,
that was awesome.
That was good. So yeah, that's an interesting decision. He could have gone down to 1 credit and seen an extra card, but he was worried about the risk of
there was an NPD. In his hands, so he knew he made the right call, Jono.
And not to say that this is a great game across all levels of competition, but it is. But there was a similar decision at a much higher level in the World's semi-final. We'll come to that, I'm sure. But if you remember, in the last turn of the game, there was a run that involved a similar decision about whether you should spend money or just...
to see
in
more
case
cards,
there's an NPD.
or keep the money
in case there's an NPD.
Yeah.
So that's the decision you got to make. Anyway, that was very interesting.
That
was a really interesting game, and that was good. Nasir worked.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Strong.
It looked pretty efficient, actually. I mean, there are some things that maybe I wouldn't put in the deck, like pipeline.
Yeah.
But the fundamental concept of that was quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, so let's see. So what have we got? So Nasir, the first card you put in with Nasir is Personal Workshop.
Yeah.
So you can load stuff on it. There's a risk you're going to hit ice with very little credit. So I guess Faust is a good breaker. Naturally, that segues into Beach Party. And the deck builds itself.
I mean, I think at the crux of it, Faust for Nasir is a pretty good card.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at a way of spending... You can keep your credits by breaking the ice in another way.
Yes. So you can run broke...
Get money,
gain money,
get money,
and
spend cards rather than cash. So yeah,
yes, and that seems to be what he did. He used cards to break things, and he used the money to pay for not breakers or runs, but utilities, pressure. Yeah. So things like the R&D interfaces that came out, the E3. That's a good card. These are all paid for by the Corp himself, Resing Ice.
And he was, and he had a good, strong draw engine with Game Day and Diesel to find these cards, which gave him the fuel for the Faust, but also the things that he could shove on the Personal Workshop. Some of which, as you pointed out, were useful, like the RDIs, and some of which were just turned into food for Aesops.
And he had some silver bullets, like Pipeline, which he turned into money because he could, and Zoo, which he needed, so he used things like that. I mean, I'm not sure what problem.
There's no problem that is efficiently solved by Pipeline.
Okay,
but,
yeah,
I like the use of Aesops there to get you, if you lose all your money to, say, a pop-up window with Nasir, you can bounce back to 3 credits by selling a piece of your rig you don't really need.
Yeah.
Like,
and install, and you can install everything, and if you need it, you keep it, and if you don't, Aesop will buy it.
Yeah.
In fact,
he's such a mug, isn't he? He will buy anything.
For once. Actual useful cards being sold to Aesop, not
like
spent cashes, not cards that have no use.
I don't know if I'd rather have a spent cash or a pipeline, John. I'm not sure. Answers on a postcard, please.
Yes. Okay. So that was a kind of diversion flavour of
awesome.
Jank tourney we did. That was the one we did in September. We've done another one since.
This is the kind of thing you can expect if you turn up to one of the Reading Jank tournaments.
Yeah, it's good. In fact, so on that day, I really enjoyed it. I was playing a Chameleon Kate that was like Chameleons and Shahrazad and Cash and Clone Chips and money everywhere.
There were a lot of Chameleons about on the day. I was playing a Haley Chameleons deck, which was pretty damn efficient by the time I'd finished with it.
Yeah, the wheel of identities handed out quite a lot of shapers, and a lot of the shapers decided that Chameleon was the way to go.
That's
flavour
of the Jank.
And our more recent one had a lot of criminals, I want to say.
It had a lot of MBN, I think.
There was a lot of MBN. Yeah. There's a lot of new MBN. There's a lot of like Spark and Sol and stuff.
I was playing Sol, and I made people wish they had played Currents in their decks.
Yeah, that's right. I had some Currents on both sides just in case. I had some Currents in my Apex for no reason other than if I played you. Just to kill the Currents.
Yeah. You were unlucky to lose that game, actually.
Yeah. And it's Ruble Imaging, So it was it was quite fun. We'll probably do another one at some point, I don't know.
Yeah, probably maybe in the gap between store championships and regionals or something. Like,
Yeah,
to give
yeah,
people
we'll
a bit
find.
of a break.
Yeah, we'll find. Hopefully, I'll get the chance to get some footage out from that second tournament at some point. I'll pick out a good game.
Yes,
There were a lot of good games.
There were some pretty janky things going on.
Anyway, don't worry, viewer, you battled through the jank, but we're going to be getting back to some more competitive games because in our next video we're going to see we're going to start our coverage of the BAW finals. So we're going to see the first. Let me think. We had 2 games from the Swiss. So in the BAW finals day, this was a 32-person invite-only tournament to as the kind of finale of the BAW series. For which the ultimate winner would get a trip to Worlds paid for, very glamorous, and the top 4 got from Darksphere, I think, a subscription to the entire Moonbad cycle, all the Moonbad day packs, which is very nice. So as they come out, they'll get them straight away. So it was a nice day, and it was good. There were a lot of people, a lot of good players there.
It's kind of a great and the good of large proportion of the UK, isn't it? UK netrunner scene.
And I went along with Joey, not to play, but to watch and record, and it was a good day. I didn't get the chance to play, but that's probably for the best because I would have been destroyed.
Yeah, and
by many of the players there.
I was in hospital.
That's right. So. Yeah, you were ill. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, that should be good. So I will very quickly mention that should you want to watch any more of our videos, you can do so at the website neoreddinggrid.co.uk. You can also find us on Twitter and on Facebook. Give us a follow, give us a subscribe, give us a like, and all that stuff. If you are feeling even more generous, you might be willing to support us on Patreon. All the money gets plowed back into the videos and will help me to make them better. And that's what I really want. So, having said that, all that normal boring stuff, all I need to say now is I need to thank James for helping out with this video. Thank you.
That was an absolute pleasure, Johnny. Thanks to Elf Wartel for putting
that was good to watch,
together a crazy deck.
And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.